It's time for Lefties Losing It. Let's have a little local input. We have our own lefties losing it in this country, including the Labor Party, who in their infinite wisdom decided to elevate a Gen Zer to the Australian Senate. Yes, meet 21-year-old Senator Charlotte Walker.
My name's Charlotte Walker. I'm a senator and I'm 21 years old. This is your sign to drink water, to eat your vegetables, to get a good night's sleep, to slay, and most importantly, to follow me.
Fantastic, Charlotte. You know, just because something is a TikTok trend doesn't mean you have to do it. Let's now go to the world of academia and see how unashamedly racist the University of Minnesota Twin Cities has become. We've got an academic here who appears to have learnt a new word. That word is pandemic, and she decided to use it to condemn white people. Just count how many times she manages to say the word pandemic in less than 30 seconds of this racist rant.
We posit that there is a whiteness pandemic behind the racism pandemic, and that this begins in the family system where young children are socialized into the culture of whiteness within white families. Our first recommendation is to remember that the whiteness pandemic is a pandemic. If you were born and raised in the United States, especially in a white family, then you've been raised in the pandemic, and you can play a role in halting and reversing this pandemic.
I counted 6. What about you? And as always, if you're not comfortable substituting the word black for white in a statement like that, then perhaps rethink saying something so profoundly racist. Now, Hollywood actress Kate Beckinsale, who has been acting a little odd lately, here she is walking her dog wearing a bra and giant platform boots. Well, she's gone on Jimmy Kimmel's awful show to tell this awful story. I'm sorry for what you're about to hear.
2 eggs in a week is what the bright spot was.
Who did?
The boyfriend did.
He laid 2 eggs in a week. Is that a British thing?
Well, no, he's from New Jersey. He's a Jew from New Jersey.
What does that mean, he's laid 2 eggs in a week?
Well, he said, I've laid an egg. And, of course, I was like, OK, trying to pull focus on the cancer operation, you know. But it had a shell and a yolk.
I have no words, nothing. News outlets are reporting that story seriously, including CNN. Let's stick with Hollywood and check out the latest meltdown from the cast of Wicked. It's not just Ariana Grande who is in perpetual tears. Watch here as the stars of the movie all sob together.
It's this crazy realization when everyone's talking. What? I've been listening to you for so long.
Cynthia.
You're the voices I'm listening to. We get to sit here and do this together. It's really wonderful.
Well, it is for us, too.
You create something that meant that we could have a dream come true.
That's the dream.
They really are quite ridiculous, aren't they? To Pennsylvania now, where the governor has signed a bill banning hair discrimination. Seriously.
We know that this is an issue that disproportionately affects Black Pennsylvanians who wear their hair in protective styles like locks and natural braids or twists. And it can manifest itself in a number of different ways, from someone getting fired simply because of how they look, or maybe someone getting passed over for a job because of the way they wear their hair. That's unacceptable, and in a moment, it will be illegal.
Yes, let's create more laws banning things that are not actually happening. Now, I don't know what Australia did to deserve this, but we've not only had the insufferable Kamala Harris visit the country twice since her failed presidential campaign, now we've got another insufferable whinger, Michelle Obama, making the trip down under. And you can hear her speak about just how awful her life was in the White House, how terrible it was to have a glam squad and be called upon to attend events. The inhumanity, I don't know how that poor woman survived. And for the measly price of $445, you can hear Michelle whinge endlessly about her charmed life. The cheapest tickets to these speaking engagements are $195, a bargain to hear profound musings like this. Here is Michelle in conversation with Jenna Bush.
Say in the book, I kept my hair straight throughout the White House years so it would not be a distraction or a talking point. I knew there was absolutely no way that the first Black First Lady could show up in braids. Was that a hard choice for you?
You know, it wasn't hard because the job was more important than the statement.
Right.
I wanted to make sure that my work spoke before my clothes or the way I showed up in the world, although I knew that the clothes sent a message.
Yes.
Joining me now is author and founder of Wrong Speak Publishing, Adam B. Coleman. Adam, I cannot imagine what sort of sad fool would be paying hundreds of dollars to hear Michelle Obama, who I think has really damaged her brand in recent years by doing so many of these interviews, doing her own podcast, and just endlessly whinging, often about trivial things.
Yeah, I mean, she's still popular amongst a certain sector, especially amongst liberals. They like her for what she represents. They like her. Maybe there are times that she gives some sort of inspirational advice, at least in their eyes. From my perspective, I think that she complains a lot. And I find that she is incredibly disrespectful to her husband and is not necessarily modeling what a good marriage looks like, the way she talks about at least how she used to see him. When she says that she spent 10 years not liking him, that's not really a good example of a strong long-term relationship.
Well, much of the whinging, you're right, has been centred around Barack, and she's complained about everything, including how he chooses food.